What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here for a little non-sports cards slash pop culture slash Marvel slash comic slash Magic the Gathering slash basically anything that's not a sports card market update. Been trying to crank these out weekly every Monday morning for you all. I believe this is our third week now doing this. Still trying to figure out a little bit of a format and whatnot, but we'll get there. We'll get there. News-wise, nothing too crazy I wanted to talk about today. I did want to touch on a PWCC Premier Auction. We teased this last week. This is the first one, to my knowledge, to go off. This is the complete PSA 10 set of 1990 MU, including a set of 5 PSA 9 holograms. Now, the holograms in PSA 9, a little tiny bit of a premium, but not much. Nothing super crazy there. PSA 10 is a whole different story. But 9s just kind of go for whatever. But a complete PSA 10 set, I think it's 162 cards in this set, went for $18,000. I have not sat down and fully ran the numbers on, good deal, bad deal. Could you piece one together for cheaper? It gets a little weird on this set because certain cards that we've discussed are very tough to 10. High Evolutionary is one that we've talked about. We'll kind of hit on this again in a second, but generally speaking, it comes out to $110 a card, $111 a card, I believe, if you math it out. And a lot of stuff sells for around that number. A lot of stuff sells for way less than that number. A lot of the jokey cuts and the team battles, the little Spider-Man comic strips and that stuff probably sell on a PSA 10 for 30 to 50 bucks. But some characters still go for $8, $9, $1,000. Just kind of depends on who the character is, what the pop count is, and kind of the battle for this set. Looking at a few of them here, once again, you can see the famous battles, the teams, that sort of stuff, 30, 35 bucks, 40 bucks, nothing crazy here. These are all under $40 cards, and this is a decent chunk of the set. It's probably about a third of the set makes up between team battles, or famous battles, teams, the Spider-Man little comic book clipping things, comic strip things, and some other stuff probably make up about a third of the set. So, these are all well under $100. Now, when you flip it around, and once again, I'm just kind of pulling random stuff here. Here are some of the ones that still sell for a lot. This one seems out of whack. This Spider-Man typically does not sell for this much. But you see the Red Skull here for $2K, the Marvel Girl for $1,600, Captain Britain for $1,200, and you might be going, why the hell is Captain Britain selling for $1,200? The problem is, if you go look at the PSA Pop Report, just some of these characters are ridiculously hard to 10, and there's not a lot of them. Captain Britain is one, High Evolutionary is one I've talked about before. I've opened 2 boxes of this, plus had a bunch laying around. Every single one of mine was way off-centered. So this card's very hard to find centered. Same with my Captain Britons, and same with my Marvel Girls. I looked at all these. One of the things that I was doing for a hot minute was analyzing the pop report on these and sending things in based off of the pop report. Here's another High Evolutionary at $600 back in August. Iron Man still does well. Some of the villains and stuff still do well. And some of these really pop off. There's a Red Skull that went for $500 on the 19th. Here's one on the 11th that went for $2,000. Essentially what happens is 2 people are battling it out to finish their PSA 10 set. One comes up for auction. They go to the mat for it to get it. And it causes weird spikes in pricing. So the random characters, I don't know how long the pricing on that stuff will hold up. But the A-listers, your Spider-Man, your Iron Man, that sort of thing, Hulk, Black Panther, all still sell extremely well. $300, $400, $500. You could still do pretty well on this stuff. Box prices are still sitting at, I believe, about $700-ish. So you're looking at probably $30 a pop to grade them with PSA economy for most of these. I don't think you'd be able to, for the key characters, you wouldn't be able to slip through on bulk. You could probably try, but they've graded enough of this stuff to know what flies way over the declared value limit on that. Stan Lee down to $400 now. So I'd have to sit down and run the math. Might be an interesting little project to kind of spreadsheet it all out and see, on average, what it prices out individually versus what the set sold for. but still strong sale. 18K, like I said, a lot of cards fly way under, and I don't know how this person put it together. If you graded them all yourself, or you had a bunch of them laying around and you finished it off. But interesting to kind of see this come full circle as, I talked about this set back in February of 2021, February 2021, when this thing first took off. Now to see the first PSA 10 set, at least to my knowledge. If another one sold out there that I'm not aware of, please let me know. Another thing I wanted to kind of discuss today is we're talking grading. CGC is up and running now for Marvel card stuff. I got my submission back, and I'll probably do like a full, maybe like ROI video breakdown on that for what I sold everything for. I'm still kind of working through the last couple of cards of that submission that I plan on selling. There's definitely things in there I plan on keeping. But I've been getting a lot of questions about, CGC versus PSA when it comes to Marvel stuff and the other grading companies as well, SGC, BGS. Who should I send my stuff to? Things seem to move pretty well for me for CGC Marvel stuff. You're not going to get PSA pricing. So if you're just looking to max out value, you should probably still strongly consider PSA. That being said, there is a trend, and I don't know if this will hold. This is very small sample size stuff because very few of this stuff is on the market yet. Pristine 10s from CGC seem to be selling pretty strong. CGC, keep in mind, follows BGS's grading scale. So a 9.5 is their gem mint, and then they have a 10 grade above that, which is pristine. And then they have like a perfect grade above that. So think of BGS, 9.5, 10, and then black label. CGC essentially follows that line, but they do seem to grade a little bit easier on the pristine 10. My order, I sent 25 cards. I got 3 pristine 10s back. That would be unheard of on a BGS submission. Those pristine 10s, as of right now, do seem to be outselling PSA 10s on some stuff that I saw. Some 90MU stuff, the CGC pristine 10s had outsold PSA 10s. Whether that holds, once again, no idea. We'll need to see more and more come back. And the pristine 10s do seem definitely easier to get than a true BGS 10. So CGC 9.5 is gem mint, and then you have the 10 pristine. CGC 9.5s seem to be floating around that SGC 10 price point, slightly above that, kind of like between an SGC 10 and a PSA 10 is where I'm seeing them kind of fall in. But once again, very small sample size on this. I cannot stress that enough. It's going to take some time for this stuff to shake out. But they would be my go-to if you're looking for a quick flip, lower value stuff, base cards, random inserts, anything high value that you're looking for an extreme premium on. PSA is 100% still the way to go. I am looking around, potentially looking to put together another CGC bulk submission. I need to track down 25 cards. I probably have enough laying around here to send in. I also have some boxes I could open. But that's where we sit right now. I'd like to do a little bit of a deeper dive on this, but we just need another couple weeks to pass for this to build up. I did just do a quick search. By the way, searching for CGC graded cards on eBay is kind of a pain. My trick is CGC Marvel, and then you got to put minus keychain in because there's these keychains that people sell. I actually got one as a gift. They're pretty cool, but I don't want them filling up my search results on this. And then you have to make sure you look under non-sport trading card. Otherwise, you get it's all comic books that filter in. So people are definitely still figuring out pricing on this stuff. A lot of this stuff is definitely way overpriced. I was laughing at this Wolverine hologram in a 9.5 that someone has up for $22.50 when there was another one listed on here for like $270 that hasn't sold. Some pristine 10 Wolverines here from 90MU. Be interesting to see what those sell for. If it was me, this is just me. If you have multiples of the same card, don't list them both at the same time. I assume this is the same seller, just given that the shipping price is the same and they look formatted exactly the same. Just list one, let it sell. Yeah, here's this Wolverine at $295 when there's this one sitting at $22.50. So make sure you're doing your poking around on those. Spider-Man 9.5s, black suits. These in a PSA 10 usually go for $300. Once again, people are still trying to figure out pricing on this stuff a little bit. We'll see how things shake out. Just as an anecdote, I sold my Rogue CGC 10 Pristine from 92 Jim Lee X-Men for 125 on a best offer accepted. That was paid for. I shipped that out the other day. But like I said, we'll do a full breakdown of my CGC return once I kind of move everything from that and can kind of do a complete video. So just kind of wanted to talk about that as I've gotten lots and lots of questions on it. Let's talk Spider-Man Metal really quick. Red PMG specifically. The Spider-Man Metal market right now is just completely flooded because of all the e-pack stuff. Not surprising. And everyone basically ripping and then immediately selling everything that they rip unless they hit a character that they really, really like. Red PMGs are still trying to find their floor. There's still a lot of them out there. There's only really, to be quite honest, a handful of characters that are carrying good value right now. Carnage is doing well. Obviously, the various Spider-Man Red PMGs are doing well. Some of the superior Spider-Man's not selling quite as well, but as we just kind of scroll through this list, you can kind of see some of the sold prices on these. A couple PSA submissions back already. Not holding up terribly great. Carnage doing well at 1,000. Venom's doing well. Black Widow's actually selling pretty strong. But a lot of these, like if you hit a really random character, Beast, $86. This, a red PMG in a box is a big deal. And then if you get a bad character, you get torched on these. Vision 200. Here's a Shocker for 75. Wolverine for 1,500. The Wolverines are kind of all over the place. The low series is outselling the high series. J. Jonah Jameson at $65. So if you like some of these lower end characters, you could put together a nice collection pretty cheap. Like if you're a big fan of one of these lower tier guys, even this Thor for $345, probably a little high, but if you like Thor, that's a pretty nice, easy entryway into a PMG. I actually prefer the high series with the first appearance on it. $20.99 going for $400, but Scarlet Witch only $330. So just kind of scrolling through these, just kind of giving you guys an idea on price. There's a Ghost Spider high series for $1,300. Once again, the Ghost Spider stuff, Spider-Man, Carnage, Venom, Black Widow to a lesser degree, and a handful of others still sell really strong. The Wolverine low series does really well. I think the Iron Man still sells pretty good. But a lot of these are dirt cheap. So just keep that in mind. Once again, box prices. Let's talk about box prices really quickly. Dave and Adams actually lowered their price on the sealed boxes to $620 a box, which actually puts it right in line with the secondary market prices. They were at $700 a box, I think, for quite a long time. But secondary market prices continue to hold on Spider-Man Metal sealed. As of yesterday or 2 days ago, I'm recording this on Sunday afternoon, they were going for about $610, $615 a box on eBay and some of the various other secondary market platforms. That continues to hold, so right in line with this DNA price. Blasters look like, at least as of a couple days ago, took a little bit of a dip to right under $40. And that to me is about the perfect price point for a blaster. They're $30 retail. If you're paying $38 to $40 on the secondary market, especially if you're paying cash, you're basically avoiding tax, the running around, the gas, all that stuff. To me, that's a very fair price to pay for those if you just want something fun to rip. If you want to rip and try to build a set, and you want to, the fun of the ripping and putting the set together and all that like we were kids, the blaster boxes are great for that. There's the potential for some insert hits, but it's extremely rare. The ROI of ripping a blaster is probably pretty low unless you get really lucky on a grandiose or yellow character hit. Those still sell for a pretty decent amount of money, but for the most part, not a ton of value in the blasters other than just having fun, ripping packs, and potentially putting a set together. Great for kids. See how the value holds for those long term. Supply will eventually dry up on those. Usually things like that restock for a few weeks and then eventually slow down, and then you'll start to see prices tick up as inventory drops. Same thing for the hobby boxes. I expect those to kind of sit at around that $600 number for a while. And then whenever EPAC sells out, then they'll probably see a bump in price. As of right now, EPAC's still going strong. We'll see how much longer that goes for. I thought it would be a lot less than this, but I also thought the price point was going to be cheaper when EPAC came out. Looking at some other Marvel products, Fleer Ultra Avengers, which we've kind of been talking about every week. I'm basically going to keep talking about this if the price changes on it As of right now, DNA is pulling their games. It was $3.99 a box. They pulled it, put it back up at $3.99 a box. It is now currently pulled again. It's been down for about a day and a half. Let me refresh here just to see if it came back up. No, it has not come back up yet. So we will see when this one pops. I actually think we get Fleer Ultra Avengers before Marvel Beginnings. We don't even have a sell sheet for Marvel Beginnings. So it still could be a while on that. They have November 30th listed for Fleer Ultra Avengers. Unfortunately, I would be shocked if it hit that date. I would love it if they did, but I don't think that they do. My best guess is, and this is a lot of speculation from some of the other Marvel card people, Justin, and etc. The running theory is that Allure is probably the next product to come out, which is an MCU product. I'm not super big on that, but if you like MCU cards, then it could be right up your alley. I will probably skip Allure. I prefer comic book artwork on my Marvel cards, but that's just me. We'll see what prices go on this. Let's close out looking a little Magic the Gathering again. Kind of swinging back and looking at Dominaria United again. Sealed boxes. These continue to slide. I have my radar on these. I would not mind picking up a case of set boxes, but I'm going to get cute and play the waiting game on it, and I may even end up going in a different direction. Draft boxes are the worst ones to go after. They continue to fall. They're under $100 a box right now. This is on TCG Player. $98 a box, which is actually under, I believe, what they were getting them for distribution. Set boxes are at $114, same thing. They continue to fall and creep down. And collector boxes are all the way down to $209 with free shipping, and those continue to trend down as well. Once again, Lost Legends doesn't seem to be as big of a chase as it was. These continue to pull back. I am intrigued from a sealed wax perspective, but I'm going to play the waiting game. I'll kind of let these things keep slipping and falling and see where things end up. No specific comic talk this week. I did pick up, which I don't know when it'll get here because the seller lives in Canada. I haven't even gotten shipping notification on it yet. I bought it on Saturday. I'm very excited. It's a key X-Men book for my collection. It's not like a major key. It's not like an X-Men 1 or anything like that, but it is and I'd be curious if you want to guess. Feel free to try to guess in the comments down below. It is an iconic cover. It is a key piece of any X-Men collection. You probably need to own this one. Like if you're a serious X-Men collector when it comes to comic books, you should probably have this one in your collection. Iconic cover. It's a very important cover for a couple different reasons. Older book, definitely Silver Age, maybe, yeah, Silver Age, I believe. I've talked about it before. Very excited to knock this one off the list. I got it in an IG sales post. So once again, I don't know when it's going to get here. I haven't gotten tracking information on it yet, but I am excited about that. That's the first comic book I've bought since the Avengers number 8 that I picked up a few weeks ago. So when that gets here, we'll probably rope it in with a full mail day. Other than that, the big thing that I need to put together, I need to get my submission ready for the McFarlane stuff and get that sent in. I need to figure out exactly how many cards I'm sending for that and get that in the mail. Don't forget about that if you're planning on sending cards in to have McFarlane sign. It's a little steep at $125 a card, but it is what it is. So that's all I have for you guys and girls today. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.